I had a bit of trepidation about hosting a show about queer politics or just even pride or anything to do with that, and as a straight man, and I thought I've got to come to church in Wellesley, so here we are at the iconic church in Wellesley. I want to get a feel for it, but I'm going to need an ambassador to help guide me through it. So I thought, who better than a one-time mayoral candidate, Canada's worst top handyman, and bon vivant Keith Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, here to show me around church in Wellesley is Keith Cole.
Wow, hi Stephen.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much
What are you
that was
doing
unexpected.
here? Wow, what are you doing here?
What I'm doing here is I think people have a preconceived notion about the gay scene or church in Wellesley, and they don't get the beauty of it. And I thought maybe you could take me around your neighborhood.
I would love to.
As an ambassador, and show me what it's really like to be a part of gay culture.
This is great. It's great to see you. Nice to see you here.
And
we never see you on this end of town. Yeah, let's do it, Stephen.
I'm more of a Queen West boy. Let's get to your end of town.
Let's do it. Okay, come this, follow me.
Okay. What exactly is Bear Pride?
Well, Bear Pride is like the big fat hairy guys who are like, bald, and they've got a hairy back, hairy stomachs, and they're all about the hair, and they're all about woof and grr. And then, of course,
So there are
the opposite.
designations then?
Oh,
There's
for
designations
sure.
of there's not just gay or straight.
There's otters. There's
Otters.
Otters. Like an otter is a young.
Urine? You're into water play?
No, an otter is like a very young kind of. He's slightly hairy, but he's not full of hair. But he's gonna be a hairy man one day. It's like a community center like no other community center in the world.
Okay.
There's meal trans, there's trans programs here, there's gay, lesbian youth. It's cutting edge. It's been tried to, people have tried to shut it down because it is so progressive, but it remains going. They did get a little addition recently at the end of it, and it turns out the addition wasn't so well liked because the students who designed it were students, and it turns out that they were Ryerson students who failed architecture. And then there's like a seal, polar bear, silverbacks, twinks, Pooh Bears.
Fecal matter?
No, Pooh Bears. No, Pooh Bears are black men who are bears, big black hairy men.
The tent's so big in your pants.
I always hear about like the attention to detail and the high design and the sort of aesthetics of the queer community that most straight people maybe don't possess. And I think you can tell from my sort of disheveled appearance that I'm maybe more straight than gay. But I'm standing in front of this beautiful park. It's truly a beautiful park. And I was wondering if maybe you could tell me about what went into making this.
We're gonna wash that pole. We're gonna wash that pole.
Panda bears are the Chinese or the Jamaican or the Koreans
okay.
or Chinese
Okay.
who are hairy but big. So that's a panda bear. There's Pooh Bears. There's of course the Twinks. There's the Rice Queens. Long before we had a parade, long before there was Yonge Street, long before there was barriers and rules and all that stuff, we just used to hang here, drink some beer, take our shirts off, and then we would fuck each other later. It was an amazing time in the 80s. We had great sex.
That is beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And now what is it?
Well, now it's behind here. We can go there later, but it's now it's where the AIDS Memorial, the National AIDS Memorial, exists here in Crawford Park, and so we can go and take a little visit at the memorial.
I would have thought you would have started with it's the site of the AIDS Memorial thing, but I'm glad.
It's anal sex, no lube.
Oh.
I'm a no lube bottom. Like you could spit on it, like if you really need to, but I don't like lube. Geriatrics, then of course there's the trans, and of course there's your athletics, then there's your shrimpers. It's up there for everybody, right? So, but yes, these are very, very popular.
That's all I wanted to know.
You lick the pole when it's cold and your tongue will stick, so keep the party pumping and thumping and shit.
It used to be called the ghetto. Now they're calling it the village, and many of us still like to call this the ghetto, not the village. So yes, there's this kind of DNA sculpture. It lights up at night, but they're super controversial because they're ugly. And yes, my very first blowjob was not there.
I was going to say, speaking of controversial
Yes.
and ghetto, didn't you have your first blowjob right there?
My first blowjob was not there.
It's
Well,
not-
where I swallowed. Like the first time I
First time you
swallowed
swallowed.
was
Okay.
here.
That's a
at the
different designation.
Gloucester Mansions over here in this dumpy building called the Gloucester Mansions.
Sorry, that's a mansion.
Yes, that's a mansion.
So
and that's,
on Church Street, this is considered a mansion.
yeah. Hi, Kevin. There's our lovely Pride coordinator, the Pride coordinator.
Hi, Kevin.
That
Just getting
piece
a little
of
bit of church.
genius.
Just getting a bit of Church Street history. Maybe you want to stick around for that.
He's straight.
Okay.
Stephen Straight.
Can we roll? Okay. So we've been having a nice day. We've been hanging out for hours, and to this point, you have not tried to fuck me, and I greatly appreciate that because I have to say I thought that might be a scenario. We've had some drinks, and we were gonna go have some more drinks, but you wanted to run an errand,
Yes.
and I think you have a bit of a campaign. You're kind of raging.
Well, just
So-
really quickly, I just want to whip into the stag shop here. I have a black dildo here that I purchased with
Yeah.
money, real money, good money. I have the receipt. It's still in the package, sort of. It's only been used mildly. And I do want to return my black dildo, but they're not letting me return the dildo. So I'm thinking if it was a Filipino dildo, no problem. If it was a Chinese dildo, no problem. If it was a heterosexual dildo, no problem. But because it's a black dildo, they're not letting me return
So
this.
you think it's not like you just have to deal with homophobia, but then on top of that you have to deal with racism, and you feel the reason they won't return a used dildo is
It's
because
like-
it's black.
It's Auschwitz. This is what's going on here. It's like
It's
Dachau.
not,
It's like
it's
Auschwitz.
not Auschwitz. It's
How
not
are you guys?
Auschwitz. Sorry, just returning a dildo.
Come on, let's get the chance.
So it's been a pretty full day. Stopped in for a drink, turned into a lot of drinks. I was thinking we would end it here. Just want to know how you felt about the day.
I felt great about today. I don't know how you felt, but I think we've learned a lot. I think you've learned a lot.
definitely learned
Your eyes have been open to a lot of things, but you seem a little bit tense. Do you feel like going to the Steamworks?
Like for a beer, is that a brewery?
It's like a brewery, but it's just a little bit different. But if you allow me, I could take you over there. But you have some ID and you have your money still, right?
Kiss me then I wake up. Kiss me then I wake up. Kiss me then I wake up. Oh, oh. Kiss me then I wake up. Kiss me then I wake up. Kiss me. The fairy tales make up.
Elliot would be considered a twink. Elliot's probably under 125 pounds.
Best.
And you know what? You could play a little bit of song on his rib cage. Skinny guys also have really big cocks. That's one thing I've
Really?
learned about skinny
So
guys.
he's like a straight acting, straight looking, but definitely a twink.
$25, $30, and a case of beer I would give him, for sure.